I want to be a little bit stretched already when I start, and I want to lift up and step out, and then I can bring it in, step out, lift up and over, like you're stepping over a beach ball. Step up and take your time, shift your weight to balance for a moment on that one, on your glide ski. Now I've put the band around my ankle and I've got it around the toe, and I want to balance, straighten that leg. Slight bend in the knee is good so you don't feel anything stretching back there. And I'm going to do a flutter kick. And I want to really extend that foot as far away and as high as I can get it. And I want to try not to let the toe turn out, because then you're going to be working the outside of the hip, and what we really want to get here is just this area all through here. Skipping now, it's going to up the movement quotient here a little bit. I want to lead with a high knee, triple skip, lateral, lateral. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. With the band now around my left ankle and around my right toe or forefoot, I want to get down low in a strong position here. We don't want to achieve depth by rounding and slouching. We want to get into a position that you could still balance on your ski. And what I want to do now is nice and low and extend back and extend back. And here, play with movements of the arm, and you'll find that your arms can add to the balance quotient a little bit. They can improve your balance by coming to the party. We're going to use the mini band and try to activate the proprioceptors, the balance mechanism here. I want to balance on my left foot, and I want to extend this knee up and at the same time reach with my left hand. So you can make a touchdown with your toe, and you can add just by following your hand with your eyes, which increases the balance component. The beauty of the training we're doing is that we're letting simple equipment create complex results. We're going to do the weighted movement series, part of the warm-up for the strength training phase. And for this, I can use a med ball, I can use an aqua bag, I can use a dumbbell, I can use just about anything that will give me a little bit of resistance that I can move with and hang on to. 40s, it's about a 540-degree travel path. And we can do these 540-degree patterns starting over, or we can do them starting low and going under. And so, again, using the aqua bag, I'm going to shuffle and stop. I'm doing this 540-degree looping swing, initiating over the top, and I'm balancing on the end foot, and so it's a 540-degree swing, either over or under. With 2 dumbbells, balance, think always about balancing on snow on a ski. So be really strong, find your sweet spot. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to stay pretty much upright, but I want to row down and pull up. It's almost like the motion of sawing, so we call these hand saw pulls. And fight for your balance. If you start to struggle, that's okay. Fight for it and then resume. So stay tall and flexible in the knee and down and up. This aqua bag, again, is the one that sloshes with water inside, but you can use a med ball or a dumbbell, almost anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up here, pivot, and finish back down low. So it's a low, high, low swing with a forward and backward pivot. Here's your forward pivot, and here's your reverse pivot. And then obviously I would have to go the other way, high to low. We have this pattern of movement that I've called loops, and I just want to explain it. You can visualize it if you visualize a little remembrance ribbon. It's 2 open ends and a loop at the top. So that would be a high loop. So the movement would look like this. You stop down here, make the loop at the top, and stop down here. I could put it over here. I could also put it down low. We're going to do all those loops, and we can use any kind of resistance that we want. In this case, we're going to use a dumbbell. So here's our high loop. I'm going to start down here with two hands and finish down here. Come up, make the loop at the top, and finish with the open end, stop and start at the bottom. That's a high loop. Now I've got my straps and handles here, and I want to orient the handles so that they approximate a ski pole. And now, depending on where I stand, I can make this harder or easier, but what I want to do is I want to go into a nice deep squat and help myself up. I could even jump, obviously, but now this is an assisted squat and with a Nordic pole kind of pull down at the same time. The straps don't stretch, so this is a direct transfer and you can easily control it. Now using the box, you could use a stair step for this if you've got room to swing your leg behind. We sometimes use bleachers in the gymnasium we train in. I'm going to do a combination of push-up. I'm going to bend this knee and dip that knee to the floor and extend this leg way up and then push myself up and drive that knee up. So it's a dip, push up, extend, and drive. I've got surgical tubing here and I'm not going to use the handles. I want to hold the cables themselves to make it more ski-like. And what I want to do here is little quick jumps with the double pole swing. And you can obviously step back to increase the resistance or use heavier cables. And finish low. Make that loop and finish high. So it's a loop pattern. Shifting your weight from foot to foot, from ski to ski, and generating the force. Now, just with one hand supported on a box or on a step, I want to line my body up. Try not to bend like this. Try to stay straight and try to dip this hip. And using this leg as your support and a driver, you dip low and lift high and try to maintain this substantially an alignment from your heel to your hip to your head. I'm going to crawl like a crocodile. So what I want to do is get low, elbow and knee are touching. Then all I want to do is reach and bring this knee up to this elbow. I want to keep my hips staying low to the ground, crawling, controlling like a crocodile. Now I've got the connection down low, my surgical tubing here. Again, I'm holding the cable rather than the handles because I want this to be more ski-like. And I can do a couple of different things here. I'm going to do a little jump and sort of a pole recovery swing, but I could also swing forward on the way down and jump up as I swing back. So either way. Now with the pattern, the loop pattern, this time the loop, the closed portion, is going to be on the left side. I'm going to use two hands again on this dumbbell. So I'm going to swing from way up there, around and down. The loop is on the left. Two-handed, left side, resisted loops. Touch elbows to knees. Now you want to make sure that these are enough to give you a little bit of elbow bend at the bottom, because you don't want to end up hitting the floor at full extension, because that's going to put too much stress on shoulder joints and elbow joints. Here's our supine alternating side dying bug. Arms out wide, palms down. The palm will help roll you into the transverse plane. And you can point your toes, or I like to point the heels. And you are going to bring the right hand up to touch the left shoe and vice versa. But what you want to do is make sure you're aware of how you return this foot to the ground. You don't want to let it fall. You want to control everything, so you shouldn't feel or hear your heel hit the floor. And ideally, when you want to turn this up, it's really simple. All you do is not put the heel down at all. Now, completing our first session doing the loops, this is a low loop. The loop forms on the bottom of the movement. I start here, swing low, swing across, and go back up, and then repeat. So 2 hands with my dumbbell. I'm going to swing down low, across, and then up. Feel your weight shifting from shoe to shoe, and feel your feet being active and your heel releasing at the appropriate moments. And then lift high, swing low, and enjoy the movement. The conditioning set, the sequence of jump squats, 3 sets on 1-minute rests, and we build reps over time. What's important here is we are going to increase repetitions as the phases progress. We want to land every jump softly. You can hear your feet hit the ground, and you want them to hit the ground very, very softly so that the ground isn't jarring all the structures all the way up to your neck. And I'm going to do this on an alternating floor touch, staggered stance jump up. I want to jump pretty well. I want to do as good as I can, and I want to reduce force efficiently. And I go all the way up. We don't want to do this and finish here. We want to get full extension. So this first movement is a big split squat, back leg straight. We always want to think about that back leg being really straight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to descend, and I'm going to bring my inside arm, outside arm, down and back, and continue to lower and rotate. And then I can just alternate that by twisting, straighten those back legs, really get the stretch along the front side of the hip. And this swimming action is very nice for stretching and working on the fascia around the iliopsoas. This is a side position lengthening movement. What I want to do is lengthen the base leg. In this case, it's my left. I want to take my right leg and bend it, grab the toe, bring the knee back down so that they're parallel, the 2 legs. And the first thing I want to do is gently pull that heel towards my butt. It doesn't matter if you get there or not. The movement, the real active movement to begin with, is to lengthen this leg as though you're trying to touch your ankle with that knee. You won't get there, but we want you to feel that length along the front side. And if you get comfortable there, extending and staying, then you can also sort of extend that knee backward a little bit and then ease off. And you will feel a nice long stretch that happens in the fascia along the front side of the hips. Here are some additional finishing set ideas. And remember, the finishing set stuff is to help you recover fully and better right from the end of your workout on. The finishing sets should be done as mindfully as anything else, and they should be done slowly and carefully. And this one is a duck-footed, so I'm going to turn my feet out at 90 degrees. I'm going to hold my hands up right here nice and tight. I'm going to bring this elbow down across that foot, down as far as I can go and as far out as I can go, and then I'm going to come up. And then I'm going to go down across that foot. Now I want to be perpendicular to the line of my instep and go down as far as I can go and reach that elbow as forward as I can go. It looks goofy, it is goofy, but if you try this, you're going to feel you're going to feel the lengthening, the expansion of the fascia on the inside of your leg, and that's a part of the body that gets really hammered in skiing. Supine position again. This is a figure 4, and we can do it a couple of ways. If you really are tight in the hips and you don't have good external rotation here, this is a good movement to try, but you might want to do it just by crossing your foot onto your knee. And if that's even too intense for you, you can bring this shin bone a little bit along your femur here. But I want to go here. I want to let my head rest back and gently push to externally rotate this femur at the hip. And if that feels good, and I think it will for a lot of you, then you can progress to straightening the leg, pushing on the knee, and pulling on this leg. So you're bracing here and pulling everything toward you, and you can pull and release and pull and release, and just do this until you feel that fascia along the side expanding. This is a great movement for your calf. We're gonna try to expand the fascia of the calf in 3 different planes. I want to do the left calf here, so I put my right foot close to the window or the wall. I want my heel to be down. It has to be down and stay down. And then same side hand on the wall or window. And now I want to push so that I can feel everything light up from my heel to my hand through my core. I want to really feel that there's very little weight or support on this front foot. And now sagittal plane is forward and backward. Just a little forward and backward easing like that with the heel staying down. Frontal plane, side to side. So keep that pressure on your hand. Push as hard as you can and work your hips side to side. And then finally, rotate a little bit. Keep that the heel down and rotate from side to side with lots of pressure on the front, on the hand. And then you would repeat that on the other side. You'll like it. This is a double bent knee, sort of rotational extension. What I want to do here is I want to use this leg to help press this knee down, roll this hip over, and when I get there, I want to extend that femur as far away as I can, and I want to do all of that without letting this shoulder come up off the ground. So this is a nice little hip mobilizer, and you'll feel this differently from side to side because we are often sort of imbalanced in our mobility, but it's all about rolling the hip and extending that knee. I want to make that knee extend as far away from my head as I can. And this feels good, and you want to do this slowly and carefully and mindfully, and you want to feel it and enjoy it. Now, standing next to a wall with your front foot on the inside, big wide stance, back leg as straight as you can make it. What I want to do is I want to ease myself down into this split squat, and as I go, I want to use the wall to help drive and support the depth and the length along here and the rotation. So I want to turn my head to look at the hand behind me. Supine now. I'm going to lengthen my right leg, lengthen my left arm, and then bring my left knee up to about 90 degrees and reach to the outside. And now gently, carefully, slowly, I'm going to roll on that hip while I reach, while I extend, and bring that knee as comfortably and as closely to the floor as I can. And I might want to stay there for a second and re-emphasize the extension of this arm and this leg to really feel that stretch. And then I'll come back to the center, change sides, and repeat the movement the other way. Finally, here's a movement that you can do on the ground. You do it using a stick, either standing or supine. But we're going to do it against the wall, and we're going to use the wall. A fairly wide stance here, and I'm going to twist and reach my offside hand up as high as I can, and I can use my bottom hand to help drive that twist. And then I go the other way, down, up, and twist. This is offside hand up, twist.